fucking know.
Welcome back, everybody, to Vaabs podcast. I'm your boy Davey D. This is to my left. It's Lebs.
Wait.
You may notice.
Calling me Captain, please, on air. Specifically.
Of course, buddy.
Appreciate it. Just call me by my fake name.
Captain.
Say the full
Captain Narcissism. Narcolepsy. Fine, I'll say it. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dave. This is Captain Lebrizzle, as his account says. You may notice that Dill's not with us tonight. He is. Believe us. Don't ask questions. He's coming.
He'll be here.
We
in
hope.
his house. Who knows? He left. His girlfriend. It's her house now. Alright, today we have a very exciting episode for you guys. We have a couple guests joining us on the podcast. But before we get into all of that, make sure that you guys go to the Instagram, follow us, Vaabs Podcast. Go ahead, check out us on socials. Pick up the YouTube Vaabs Podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all the music in the world. But we're a podcast. Davey doesn't want to rap.
And if you have a few extra bucks laying around, subscribe to our Patreon or our new thing, buy us a coffee.
Buy us a coffee.
Well, it's not a literal coffee. Please don't think that's happening. But it's all in the bio. It's all in the links. Everywhere you look,
Link
we're
up.
there.
Link me. Sneaky link.
What's up?
Please.
I'm slightly nervous. We haven't done guests in a while, man.
Yeah, nah, I'm excited for
Why
it.
lives? Why did you say that?
Oh, look who's back.
What?
So hectic.
What? Shut up.
Please.
Yeah. I feel like I haven't had. I'll be honest with you. This season, I really want a sneaky link, like on a real one.
Well, like I
it's
don't, I don't even know
Vaabs
Yeah,
about
Boy
it.
like you don't even know. Vaabs Boy Summer.
The thing is, I always want that, but fuck, I tell you everything.
Yo, dude, as a 1 second lull in our conversation, I'll continue.
We'll literally be chilling like, yeah, I'm seeing this guy.
100%.
I think it's going pretty well. I was like, oh, and as soon as I tell you, it's
Even when I DM Hans, dude, I literally am like, don't tell anyone, and then I'll be looking at you and I'm like,
bro, this girl is annoying. She's not even annoying you, just want to fucking talk about.
have you had any video calls since we talked about video calls?
Uh-uh.
Oh, that's probably for the
I've been
best.
getting messages, and I'm
As long as it's not video calls. Yes.
people love video calls. Like, even when you had that whole thing about like we did the vibe check.
Oh, when we did the vibe check and
Yeah, and everyone was loving it.
yeah, fucked up. It's so weird, man. Jesus. I feel like people always want to go for the most jarring thing. I don't know. Or the most pop culture thing. Like I posted on my story, dude. I don't think you understand. Like literally 80 people responded and were
Get
like,
garlic
bro,
bread.
just go get the garlic bread. As you can see, I still have a dead trim. I have a bandana inside I was supposed to wear. I forgot. And now you can just
You can
see
change
people,
with movie magic, man. Dill's good at editing.
Dill's good at movie magic. Will Dill, who's not here, be willing to get my bandana for me while Davey asks me questions about my life?
When did you realize that it was going downhill?
What year did we meet?
I can't.
Oh, goddamn, bro.
Oh, but I'm excited. I'm relaxing.
Yeah, man.
Oh, but anyway, back to the guests, guys. We got some pretty exciting guests coming. We have 2 guests this week's episode. So
Yeah.
believe it, we've been mazering mics all over the show. You'd swear we're running a flippin' newsroom, which I love. But I guess our film producers and directors, they are studying at Wits, I'm assuming, because that's where we found out from. But they're releasing a new film called Schizo.
Yeah, so we're
And-
going to go get them on the podcast, ask them a couple questions about the film itself, you know, get to know them a little bit more. But yeah, something different for Vaabs podcast. I feel like we used to talk about film, so like it would be nice to not do it in a way that's absolutely fucking jarring.
Yeah, because that's all, I mean, remember our last flippin', our last film culture reference was when I was telling Dill about a movie I'd never seen with Tom Hanks being stuck in an airport.
And even before
Oh
they
god,
do-
this is gonna go terribly. They're gonna hate me, man.
they're going to be like, have you guys watched a movie like in this life?
But Dill's giving us a thumbs up, so you
don't
too,
know
buddy.
what
Hey,
that means.
hey, no, you live your life.
Hey, buddy, fuck off. Anyway.
When last was it just you? No, I mean, I know when, but
Yeah, that was a jarring episode, but I loved it.
I had fun.
We should do fucking chill vibes like that all the time, dude.
No.
When was the last vibe that you caught on a chill one?
It would definitely have to be that night at Luke's house where we caught posties. Or is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, that was chill.
yeah.
Guys, we were coming out with a video as well called 10 Ten Commandments. We spoke about them. Ten Commandments of Vaabs was something we spoke about them before. But you'll see it's going to come out. And just as a thing, live life over the posties,
Live
man.
life, dude. Dude, literally, how many Oaks buckled posties? When you all left Saturday, I deadass was like full squad posties.
And
Like,
can I
full
tell you,
attendance.
everyone is keen. So basically, we went out Saturday and Lebs had to go pick up his broski. So I went and I wasn't drinking. Can you believe it?
I can't.
Old Wavered over here was the sober one.
Fucked up.
And so I drove everyone back, and everyone was keen. Everyone was like, Craig's house, it's going to be mad. Bro, did people not start falling asleep? And it was
You
just...
know what it was? It's because your phone died, so you couldn't play beats.
I was
to
playing
force them
2005
away.
Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
That shit was booming.
Oh, that ass.
It got
And they
stuck.
all fell asleep.
It got stuck at one point.
Your CD player is
Bro.
honestly fucking Sodom.
I
and
think
Gomorrah.
it's the CDs. I mean, those things have been alive since...
Since I've been alive.
No. But yeah, so they literally went and they were all there. Then I get to Greg's house. Greg fully like looks at me and he's like, "You guys aren't staying here."
Oh, that ass.
Yeah, fully. This is like, "You're not staying here." I look at Luke. Luke had just woken up because we got there. He's like, Dave, buddy, please. Not now, man. Not now.
Yeah. That's so jarring. Jesus. Carry on. Yes.
Oh.
Luke, Dave.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Cody's like, "Can I get in the front seat?" I'm like, "What, Cody? You think I'm taking you home?" Of course I was taking you home.
Yeah, 100%.
I went and we just drove. Luke was man down, man.
Yeah, bro.
Some
But I
sort
feel like the vibe itself. So we went out to Rosebank again, which is apparently the only place the Vaabs podcast Joel. Like even when we went there, I was like, yes, we've been here like a lot.
I'm not. Yeah,
No,
we'll speak about that as
To
well.
be safe though, think of a lock stock situation or something like that. We literally would have been around those ends
Yeah,
weekend after weekend, no question. Even Jollies. Deep how many times we went to Jollies?
every
And
Thursday, buddy.
every fucking Thursday.
Yo,
Let's go back just one time.
I went there with Ty, and it's not the same, man.
At night.
Yeah,
Oh, but didn't you go? No, but
it was a
Yeah.
Thursday.
even when we drove past it this weekend, we
Dude.
were driving and I was actually like, this place looks like Gatvol.
There's a new place called Marley's on 4th Avenue in Parkhurst.
Your vibe check on 4th Avenue.
I feel like it used to bang, but now it's just like everyone goes to the same place. I mean, okay, maybe I'm being biased because I don't go to like the Greek restaurants there. I mean, those places are apparently amazing, but like we never go to the restaurants
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
But I mean, Station apparently bangs.
But if you think about it, I always thought 4th Avenue is like the best date spot.
Ooh.
Imagine going on a date on 4th Ave.
You know, you said that. But I've never taken a girl because I remember, like, I've never taken a girl to 4th Avenue.
Haven't you?
Never.
Really?
Never.
I think it's the best
I
date
really
spot
wish
ever,
I could
dude.
have that.
I
Man.
feel like you could go from fucking Hudson's to fucking Paul's to everything. To
Ayo,
Wey.
it's the boys.
Get involved, kids. We're talking about fucking sad as shit. What's up, buddy? We've met like 1,000 times, bro. I'm joking. Hey, how's it, G? Alright, calm, bro. How's it, lit? Lit? Oh, nice to meet you, bro. How you guys doing? Oh, man. Happy, healthy, can't complain.
It's good. Thanks for having us.
Oh, bro,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
super excited, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for pulling through, bro.
Yeah, easy.
We were busy getting on about where the best fucking date spot is in Joburg. So,
Really?
This
Big
is going to be a lot better.
yeah, this is probably
we
going to
were
be...
scrambling at this point.
Yeah, Joburg's small, bro. You're always going to run into somebody that you know.
Oh,
bro,
100%.
Consistently.
Yeah, both of you guys, you're from these ends. Boys.
Yeah. I grew up in Olivedale.
Oh,
shit,
So
man.
I've kind of been in the area my whole life, pretty
Oh,
much.
man.
Moved to Midrand briefly, and then we just ended up coming back this side.
Oh,
It
wait.
always draws you back in, man.
Jesus. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys are currently busy studying film, yeah?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Got
Oh,
the final 2 months of our degree left.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's
Where are you guys
hectic.
studying?
It's called SAE. It's an Australian film school
Oh, damn.
based in Rosebank. They also have another campus somewhere in Cape Town.
Oh, damn. That's hella
Yeah.
sick.
Shit, that's hella dope, man. And your film coming out now, is that like your final year project?
Yeah, it is. So what happens is that they, like the board of the school, the lecturers of the film department, they we all pitch our own individual films, and then they'll choose certain films that they want to be made, because it comes out at a film festival, and the school add some funding so it has some backing to it. So then after our initial school film festival, they want to push it to every single film festival that they can in the country. To just kind of promote the film.
That is
and
going to be
everything
hella
like that.
sick.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to kind of make your career before it even starts. You know?
Yeah, it's nice backing as well. And the film's called Schizo. Now,
Schizo.
could you run us through what it's about and what it's like?
Well, Schizo,
Without giving away too much, because I feel that we want to see the full
you
thing.
need to come to the, the cinema to watch it first. So it basically follows our main protagonist, Alex. He's a schizophrenic that also suffers from DID, dissociative identity disorder. So each one of the hallucinations he sees has multiple different forms of personality traits.
Oh, jeez, like.
And then he's a criminal enforcer, so gets sent on this regular package collection job, day in, day out type of stuff, when all of a sudden his main hallucination appears to him. Now, one thing you guys don't realize about coming up with the film is that every single character that you have, they need to have a backstory, they need to have motivation, they need to have an understanding of why they're doing that, even if you as the viewer are never going to see that.
Yeah, it's like
So
you need
then-
that story behind everything
Exactly.
for it to work.
So that main hallucination, he's very envious of our main character because he feels he's better in every single way. He can just do everything better. And then he's very envious because of that. So he goes and appears in the car. He taunts him a lot. And then our character then takes medication to suppress it. And obviously that's a standard thing, you know, that's what everyone does. But in this specific film, it's a massive, massive reason as to what's going to happen later on in the film.
Yeah.
For him taking that medication specifically to repress the hallucinations.
Yeah.
So then later throughout the film, I'm going to give you a long story short, more characters start appearing, and then he kind of gets nervous and edgy because at the same time, now there's more obstacles entering his way of him, what he needs to do. And then that's all I'm going to say for now, because then it's going to give it away a little bit too much. So you have to come and watch it to understand the rest, man.
Yeah. So like keeping on the same theme of like backstory. So how did you guys like come up with the concept and everything?
Well, we've been at the varsity, so this is our third year now. In our first year, they gave us a 5-minute short film that we had to create. So this is based off of my 5-minute short film. So Let over here is in charge of sound, but also he's had a massive role with creative input. So like I was telling him when we were pulling up now, that the past 2 weeks since we've really been brainstorming before our shoot, we've come up with a lot of great ideas, a lot of reference films. We just found a very solid place in terms of where we're going. So it was loosely based off of that 5-minute short film, and now we just keep adding on to it, and then that's how it became Schizo, I guess.
Damn, that is hella sick. How was the process? Oh, sorry. What was the process in making it, like from the 5 minutes there into the full thing? Was it just organic, or was it?
Well, no, I think we can both agree that it's
It's a bit tough.
Pushed into it, most definitely. Like,
Jeez, like.
it starts off as an initial project where, like, you know, you're forced to come up with an idea, and then now, since, you know, we're in love with the idea so much, we created a whole world to make a much longer film.
And from my aspect, it was just the first film that I made. Obviously, it's the first thing we ever did as a filmmaker. So I was quite proud of it. I love the idea, but the execution, obviously, my first year wasn't necessarily too proud of that. But it was an idea that was still lingering in the back of my head. So then when we got tasked this year, come up with an idea, I really did struggle at the time. I was sitting there just shooting blanks, had no idea what to write down, what to think, anything like that. So then I went back, watched all my work, and then I just got stuck watching that first 5-minute short film again. And I just thought, this is a really great concept. Why don't I just add onto it and then broaden it? So now it's a 30-minute short film. So throughout that, we've just kind of layered it over the months, and we're just getting there now.
That is hella sick,
That's
man.
really dope. So the excerpt almost that you started with, like, would you say that was like your main influence type thing?
Pardon?
Would you say that that's like your main influence in terms of like, I know you have this new idea, or the idea branching off of that idea, but is it like, where did that original idea come from? Like the conception of that?
Oh, the first 5-minute short film. A lot of late nights. A lot of late nights just once again sitting there thinking, what can I come up? The big influences obviously come for me personally, Quentin Tarantino. He's like the new age godfather of the neo-noir film genre.
Oh, fucking love it.
So
Dude,
then I watched a lot of his films, and then they're incredibly dialogue based, and that's one thing that I felt I had a strength in compared to other filmmakers in different aspects of filmmaking. So I wanted to create an experience, not really a film, a short little experience where you feel sucked into a conversation, not necessarily like I'm going to watch a film. So you just go there, you kind of feel like you're just a fly on the wall while this whole crazy experience is happening. And then I just sat there one night because I struggled to write during the day because life is very busy. You've got so many things that you need to do. So then later in the evening, you can actually just sit there, you can come up with your idea, you have time with your thoughts effectively. So I just sat there, and then I thought of the small things that have affected me, like things that I enjoy. For example, Star Wars, Coca-Cola, and then chose aspects from the films that I liked, and I just kind of merged them all together, and then the dialogue just came out. And then once I had about 4 different types of conversations written down, I came up with the original story of, okay, let me make it these guys meeting here in this specific location, and then that's how it came to be.
Oh, that's so... That's a draw from inspiration like that.
Mm.
Yeah. I feel like I'm far removed from the filmmaking world, but like from the 5-second YouTube video bullshit, I feel like I can relate almost in that, like, at night time you literally just have that time to like sit with your thoughts and just be like, okay, how do I make this work with this, and how do I make, like, literally those like random bursts of inspiration. It's always so like hectic when like you have to write it on a memo pad during a day. And then like quickly like 1 or 2 words, and then like I'll revisit this later.
Yes, you're spot on with that, man. Completely.
And so you're obviously like the main writer, and then
I'm the writer, director, producer.
Okay, and then later as well as
sound
as well.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's a whole new fucking
Yeah.
Well,
its own thing by itself. I mean, going off of what he said about the whole story being dialogue driven, sound is very important in this aspect, because it's like we want to create that suspense and really draw our audience in. So like it's a really exciting project for us.
So are you also being in charge of sound? Is it like also music production or composition or?
No, it's more like creating the cinematic world. So it's everything that you hear within the film, I'm going to compile that and send it off to an engineer for us to actually have that aspect of the film come together.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like with the style of film that you guys are filming, it must be like so important, because I know, as you said, it's very dialogue driven, but I feel like those nuances of sound as well are just so important.
Yeah, especially the specific soundscape that we have. So the entire film takes place in one underground basement parking lot. And let's struggle is that often with the different types of microphones we use, whether the production design is full or not, whether you have lots of items placed everywhere, set pieces, objects, anything like that, that the sound waves bounce off of that very differently compared to even if you have an empty basement parking lot, because then you need to deal with the reverb. So that's what his struggle is at the moment, of having to figure out where's the best positioning for the microphones to make sure we don't hear it bouncing off the roof, bouncing off the wall, and then coming back at us.
If it's any consolation for the year that we've been doing this pod, sound has been our pure enemy. Every single at every single outlook, every single time we're like, oh, let's get the studio, and we're like, we love it, and then like we're doing it like inside Dill's thing, everything was echoing. It was just like, this is hell. So I level with you. I understand it completely.
First year short film. The shots and everything, I was watching it on my laptop after. Oh, this is so clean, man. I'm like the next Quentin. I'm so excited about this.
I hate that thing.
And then you plug your earphones in, and then I just heard everything, and I just thought, I'd rather shoot something on my iPhone right now.
You know, can I just say something from the background here? So I went to AFTA. I don't know if you know this.
No.
So I was at AFTA, and I went through film school, got a degree. Thank goodness. But what I wanted to say, fucking sound, dude. I feel like as film, as a medium, it is fucking wild how a shit sound can ruin a whole film.
Like, I love how he says that without a mic even. Guys, I promise I level with you. Anyway. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's spot on with that. It completely makes or breaks your film. You can have the best DOP, director of photography, so he's in charge of the cameras and everything like that. Best lighting guy, best directors, best team. But then if your sound guy stuffs up, it's the first thing you'll instantly notice when you start watching something. You'll hear, what was that crackle? What was that pop?
And it takes you out of the
supposed to
whole.
be there.
Takes you
Yes.
out of it the whole
And
time.
Hide that. You can't.
That's another thing. Like in all these CSI shows and everything like that, they say, oh no, just remove that sound from the audio. Oh, then it's clear and they hear what the villain has to say. You can't do that in real life.
No,
That's
that
not how
will
it
never
works at
run.
all. That is the sound you have. You can't isolate a single noise. And if you do, it's just going to mess up the whole audio clip.
She's like, were there any struggles that you had like during the film, like with that, where it's like with the exterior like noises and things, or even just with like film?
So the shooting actually takes place tomorrow. It's the beginning of our shoot week.
Oh damn! I thought you guys. This is gonna be so sick,
yeah,
man.
so
You guys are probably on stress time right now then as well.
We had our final production meeting today, earlier on today, so a little bit nervous, but I think with the concepts we've come up with, the team that we've built, and every single individual aspect contributing towards this massive goal that we have ahead of us, I think we'll get there.
No,
Must be so nice to be like from that point in your first year with that 5-minute short film to be at this point, because I'm sure like the preparation and everything is on a whole different medium.
Completely. Like that first year film, you just plan it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Now it's literally like you guys have
to
it.
get everything done. Like problems with equipment, and then we don't get budget. Like now, I mean, it's insane the amount of resources we have at our hands now to actually make something we feel very passionate about. So that's the excitement we have right now to create this
That's
film.
so sick.
Yeah.
I was even saying today, funny enough, like we were talking about studio and stuff, and I was just saying the unfortunate thing with life is money equals like not success, but in the sense like quality. It just makes everything easy.
Yeah.
No, it's just like we have the budget to finally be able to like make this vision a true thing.
Yeah, because it's an easy concept to think of. Okay, let me just go out and shoot this. But at the same time, that's a great mindset to have. Let me just go out and shoot that. But at the same time, you're going to need some money, unfortunately, to put behind it, because your production value is what most people look at.
Yeah.
100%. So in terms of like your guys' studies and that, do you get to specialize, or does everybody kind of have to fall into a role?
Well, we didn't really have options to specialize or anything. I think after you can choose to specialize, yes, but with SAE, it's just a very broad degree. So it kind of, we do absolutely everything involved with filmmaking, even what was the
motion graphics?
Motion graphics. That's terrible. So in terms of animation,
research methodology, there's like literally everything that goes into
even
making film.
set building.
Yeah,
we had to
production
like build sets and everything like that.
Jesus.
So they teach us everything they can. Like you said, give us the resources, give us the tools, and then when we graduate, then I think that's that. They leave it up to us to decide which route we want to go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then with like obviously the filming and all of that, how do you guys decide who does what?
Well, it's kind of up for debate amongst the actual group chosen. So the thing is, my film was the one that got chosen. So naturally, I would like to direct it. If somebody came forward and said, I'd like to direct it with you, we'd have the discussion. And then every member of the team that then got selected for our film would then come up to us and say, okay, I prefer to be cinematography, I prefer to be sound, I prefer to be an editor. So then you kind of all have your niche individually, and we play to that aspect. We want to play to your strengths.
Oh, that's nice.
On top of that, I think when working on a film, you kind of want to strengthen every aspect of your knowledge base. So for me, every film we've worked on, I wanted to get into every single part of it. Like last time we made a film, I was into the production design. Now I'm into the sound, and then it's like I just have a background of everything, and just to improve in that aspect.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
For you guys, like after you guys done studying, do you have anything like any main focus that you want to do? Like, do you want to stay in directing and then?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I feel like that's a hard life. It's a hard life, man.
I say that unfortunately because you go to anyone that starts a film. What do you go? Oh no, I'm gonna direct, man. I'm gonna win the Oscars. So unfortunately, yes, I want to stay in writing and directing because I love the aspect of coming up with a concept, but also being very hands-on and saying, okay, this is the way I want my concept being made. Please, can we all kind of play towards my vision? We all once again play towards our strengths, man management, asset management, everything like that. But unfortunately, I don't just walk in and say, hey, I graduated, now I'm
the director of this party.
Got lots of years to come, but that is the end goal.
Nice. And you don't want anything to do with directing?
No.
You saw the road, you're like, that's not my life.
I'm out, man.
No, but I definitely do want to get into directing music videos though. That is that's my number one.
That's a niche that I feel people don't give enough respect.
They don't give enough respect.
Like
to
we
that.
went and who's that guy that does all the grime videos?
Oi, Caleb Dennis.
Yeah, this guy, he's like, we watch a lot of grime videos, music videos, and like the stuff he does there, it's just insane. Like the attention to detail with it is insane.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think looking at South Africa as a whole, there's like not so much a demand for the more grand music videos where there's a deep narrative. It's more like swimming pool.
The girls in Hearties, they're in that same house that they always rent.
You know?
Every damn time.
Rent out a big mansion in Bryanston, and you're like, hey, bro, have fun.
Everyone's in bikinis.
That's how it goes.
You could even be like like you'd be short straw, and there's probably just girls there. Even.
Do you have any like inspirations for like your music video direction?
A lot of it's taken from film and photography. One of my biggest influences right now creatively is Nick Knight.
Okay.
He's UK photography. He does a lot of fashion photography. So that whole, he just blows my mind every time I see his work. So
He's got some good quality.
Well,
But at the same time, hopping on to what Led said with the music videos and not needing a narrative is you have so much stylistic play. I mean, possibilities are endless as long as like the song can be playing around in the background. I don't need to sing along to the song at all. I can once again just have a pool. You can get some crazy cool shots. And you literally have the world at the palm of your hand, where in terms of a film, it's not as free as you think it is. There's a lot of you need to listen to your producers first of all. If the producer doesn't like it, sorry, it's
not going through.
Yeah, it's got to go. They are the boss, and you got to stick to your narrative, your structure. If you want to sometimes be a little bit too creative and do something out the box, it's a great idea as a concept, but then when you put it in with the film, once again, it takes you out of that narrative.
Yeah.
Therefore, you watch it and then something happens and it completely ruins the immersion, and therefore the overall narrative themes that you want to come across just doesn't
Get
play
lost, basically. Yeah.
What are some of your like film inspirations? Like, what was actually the thing that made you go, fuck it, I actually just want to pursue this? Like, for a life in film, a life in directing, like being a creative, because I feel like for most people it's a very fucking hard decision to make, especially because like the industry is so like tough to get into and shit like that.
So what made me realize was an engineering degree.
It's always those ones. Right?
Was it a tax engineering degree?
Yeah, I was doing the engineering degree. And then I just thought, you know what, I'm going to hate every single day of my life if I carry on doing this. And I went home and I thought, I don't want to have this conversation with my parents. But
So
I'm
they
going to...
still don't know.
What's engineering? Yeah, sound engineering, kind of, maybe.
So I realized I had to have that conversation with them, but I can't just go empty-handed and say, listen, I'm dropping out.
Yeah, you at least had like you needed
And
a
I thought,
backfall.
what's the one thing that I've always loved? And I just pondered for days and days and days. And then I realized, oh, wait, no, it's actually quite an easy. Luckily, I had friends at the time who were also studying it after, and they would always tell me about what they're doing. Took an interest to that. But then I realized every single time I would need to study or come home from school, varsity, anything like that, first thing I do is just switch on the TV. Or why aren't you studying for exam? Oh, watching a movie.
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized, you know what, this is actually what I love. I kind of have a really good knowledge base about it. So let me pursue it. I can study it. So let me do that. And then lucky enough, they backed me.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
that's
beautiful.
So I think it's on the same road. Like, definitely everything I was doing was just watching films. Like, I wouldn't study at all when I was in school. Like, I'd pretend like I was, but I'm watching a series or a movie on my laptop. And like, that's just the thing that brought me into it. So that's why I studied film. I feel like there's not much to say to it. It's just why not? You know.
Has studying film kind of ruined movies for you? Like, not
Never.
ruin movies, but in that sense, like made you overanalyze it when you're just like, I wish I could just enjoy this, but now I literally have to look at everything. Because Dill,
Not
one of our
really,
biggest
no.
problems with Dill is that he will go there and so stop. We just gotta re-record.
Bill acting like he knows cameras. Let me throw out some-
Mirrorless.
Let me throw out
I've heard
some
a red
link
camera
up.
before.
No, I realized. So, okay, I'm sitting on the other side of the camera, and I realized that my degree would help in this conversation a little
Quite
bit.
a lot.
No, because I was thinking like when you guys said how did you get into film? I feel like for me it was super organic, and it was super weird. Like, because we were doing YouTube in high school, and we fucking loved the medium as well of just creating like content. Before it was TikTok and all this other bullshit. But yeah, hey,
Our main
man.
platforms love it. Sis. Tell it it's bullshit.
Follow Vaabs podcast.
Yeah, so like for me it was super organic. I just remember like watching the medium and really like feeling in love, like when you watch a series or fucking movie, and it was fucking beautiful. Like you just wanted to be involved in that shit.
Completely.
Yeah, and it was awesome, man. Like it really, like I use my degree every day. Like I'm in marketing at the moment, but it literally has been like the wildest fucking ride, and it's fucking awesome. So like it's so cool. You're giving me fucking flashbacks to after days when I was doing my own film and stuff, and it was fucking terrible, and all the shit things that come out of it. But the film always, like, you're just always so proud of this thing that you've made, like from scratch, and it's just like it's fucking
this
awesome.
is mine at the end of
Yeah,
the day. Whether it's
exactly.
good or bad, like you'll always be a little bit disappointed, but you look at it at the end of the day and precisely like this is what I've made.
Yeah.
Well done to me.
Exactly,
You
dude.
feel
And
so
all
good
the
about it
blood, sweat, and
afterwards.
tears,
Yeah,
like it just
completely.
comes together at the end. It's
Especially on
fucking
last
awesome.
year's shoot.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Nightmare.
of tears on last year's shoot. Not from us though, but
So the sleep deprivations, we're like, ah.
yeah, conflicts of interest, man. You name it, it happened. Last year's shoot.
So I wanted to ask earlier. We were talking about your motivations. I was telling them earlier when I read the synopsis of your film. There's a film called Identity. I don't know if you guys know it. It's a
I've heard
very
of
old
it
film.
before.
So
I
it's
haven't watched
also like it's multiple personality disorder is like around the synopsis, but like so it tackles kind of like the same type of thing, and it's one of like the coolest fucking things. Like if I could say go watch a movie, actually to everybody, just go fucking watch Identity. It's fucking amazing. But it tackles
Watch Schizo first.
and
Schizo,
Schizo.
yeah,
Yeah,
Schizo.
Go watch Schizo then Identity. No, but serious, like if you're into the psychological part of it, like what is the genre? That's what I also wanted to ask.
Yeah, it's
like,
a psychological neo-noir thriller.
neo
Neo-noir.
neo noir.
Let's
Yes.
try.
So is it, wait, noir like black and white?
This one is actually being shot in black and white.
Okay,
Yes.
amazing.
One doesn't have to be black.
I know. I'm just. I know. But I just had to ask because it might be.
Yeah, but we are playing on the classic trope of noir cinema. So like I said, Quentin's the godfather of the new age form of noir, which is neo-noir. So it's just basically new noir, what
Okay.
it means respectively. So then we came up with the idea. We were struggling with colors because we wanted to give each and every single one of the identities a different color that represents a different mood, a different emotion, things like that. But at the same time, we only have gray to work with in the background. In some aspects that can really help because those colors pop completely, and in other aspects it just looks too jumbled. It looks too colorful for what the characters need to be speaking about. So then we came up with the idea, let's just do it a black and white. If need be, in edit we'll highlight individual aspects of the clothing to give a color motif.
Like almost
for
like a Sin City situation.
literally.
Oh, wait, that'd be sick as
Literally.
hell.
So each character will have a motif of their color representing them. We'll see in the edit if we'll do that, but so far it is just going to be a black and white film.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's
It makes
fucking
me so
sick.
cool as well because even when I remember when I watched Sin City when I was like young, I was way too young to even understand what was happening. But as well, that mood just played through completely with the black and white. Like you're almost like in that mood from the get go. So it's nice like building as well.
It's something
Why are you
like
putting the mic on
completely psychological. You don't even realize it, but at the same time, it's just preying on those emotions. It's designed perfectly to do that. And that's what it does. And gotta give Quentin a shout out. He also helped make Sin City. He directed a little bit. His writing partner was one of the people involved. So
It's a fucking amazing film.
amazing.
Like, really, really good.
Completely.
What's your favorite Quentin Tarantino film?
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
By
Yeah.
far. And yours?
It changes every day, but I have to go back. I have to go back to Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulp
Solid.
Fiction.
Yeah.
The dialogue in Pulp Fiction for me is literally what just makes that movie so fucking amazing. Because it's
insane.
like I don't know what it is about like old school movies that feel like I don't know how to describe it. It's like an emotion that the dialogue in that movie brings out almost. Like it feels like these people are very tangible.
Yeah.
Like you can
Yes.
see like they like you were saying their backstory and like they seem like they could exist outside of that world.
Yeah.
So not like in series where like characters get a spin-off, but it's like it doesn't feel like it feels like you're this exact same person, but just in a different situation. Not like you're somebody who's had this life and going through something else also as well.
And evolving, like on
And
screen.
evolving, yeah, and learning and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of character development as well.
How long is the film?
It will be 25 to 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a big step up from 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
That's fucking long. I feel like I'm trying to remember what our minutes were, but I don't think we went over like 12 minutes. I think my final grad film was 12 minutes. So I
Really?
can't fucking imagine doing 30 minutes.
Yeah, so
I'd cry.
first year 5 minutes, second year 15, and then third year 30 minutes.
That's long, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
But
fucking long.
the reason that they also want that
I don't know, I'm a fucking sailor.
Jesus.
You know me, bro. Fucking fuck. Take this fucking mic. Fuck's sake. Fuck!
How long are you guys planning to be shooting for and everything like that? Like, what's the process of shooting and then getting into editing?
So we have 7 days to shoot.
Yeah.
And then on set, we'll have somebody acting as a DIT, called a digital imaging technician. So but also as a data wrangler at the same time. So they deal with a lot of the data, the footage, everything. The second our roll or our memory card is full, we take it out, replace it instantly, give it to them. They drop it onto 2 separate hard drives and keep it on the laptop as well. So one hard drive goes in that direction, one hard drive goes in that direction, and then some person holds the laptop just in case something happens so you don't lose your footage.
Has that ever happened?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, I would cry. Jeez, like, that must be so stressful.
Like I
Like,
said, everything happened last year shoot. Luckily,
definitely
we
tears.
didn't lose too much, but we lost very pivotal camera angles. We don't know where it went, but the footage just wasn't there. The metadata wasn't there. We couldn't find it at all.
That is so hectic, man.
So we had like a whole 5-6 minute conversation, but only one angle. Like no cutaways, nothing like that.
And then you're like, no, it's artistic, I promise. This is what we meant.
No choice.
The amount of times we try to do that.
You just don't understand the way we wanted
Yeah.
to make it.
Oh, god damn.
But the reason that they also wanted the 30-minute format is because of film festivals. So we can actually submit it to film festivals.
Yeah.
One thing that they also spoke about, so school hosts a film festival, which is also kind of a third-year graduation.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much homage of all of our years, because even in second year, you actually plan and develop the film festival. The second year students run the film festival for the third years for their graduating films. They invite industry professionals to come through. Then afterwards, the film gets sent to the NFVF, National Film and Video Foundation. Then through there, it can get sent all over the world to every single film festival that will accept it. Like I said, once again, to make the career before it's even started.
That's
Just
gonna be
a
so. This
very
is such a
great
nice back,
opportunity.
like thing to not. What's the word? Thing to push off on, I guess.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out the actual word for it, but it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's a great way to start.
What the hell?
Did you say 6?
6.
Yeah.
What are you?
He's going around with sticks. He promised.
This man's not on these cameras on
That's
the
the reason
podcast.
why
right
he
now.
was behind.
Yeah, I get nervous.
Oh damn. But yeah, I feel like that's like such an exciting like career trajectory, like just a platform to like yeah, I don't know the word either, hey?
This is spring off.
Leverage off of.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
see
not
what you're
sick.
saying, though.
Yeah, it's the. I will get into it when I figure out it's gonna come there.
Yeah, wait.
But for you, you go.
Yeah, but with
I'm
that,
asking a lot.
do you guys like from inception to like all the shit that's gone on in between? What's your guys like what are you looking forward to? Like what is the dream essentially?
Oscars.
Ooh.
The Oscars.
Yes, boy. Oh, we
I
love
sound like a classic
Yeah,
cliche.
the thing is,
film.
I think you
Wanting
need
that
to.
direct,
You
wanting
can't be
to
pessimistic about
win
it. You gotta
Oscars and
be.
everything. But I agree. Just remain optimistic. Moving to Cape Town in Jan to pursue the dream.
I literally was actually gonna ask, like, do you think there's a possibility in SA's like film business where you could be getting Oscars or like even recognition that the
Definitely
American
through Cape Town.
Yeah,
Is
Cape
it?
Town's the place.
is it?
100%. Like people don't even realize how many films actually go through Cape Town. Like
Yeah.
even though it's a relatively known one, but also relatively unknown. Some of the Avengers movies scenes were shot in South Africa, and
Yeah, that
people
one where they're in Joburg, I remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
people have no idea. But there's so many high budget films and even series that come through Cape Town. Netflix recently,
I was
earlier
gonna
this
say.
year, pumped in 900 million rand as well to the industry as well.
Jeez, like,
Oh wow.
The Resident Evil Netflix series was shot in Cape Town as well. So they have massive opportunities and formats and everything like that for you to traject your career onwards, move overseas. So through South Africa, I definitely feel that Cape Town is the doorway to the rest of
Nice.
the world.
that's gonna be super exciting, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I feel like Cape Town low-key is like the creative capital. You hate me.
I love
It's
you.
like the creative capital of Joburg. Like if you want to do anything creative, I feel like Cape Town's a place to do it.
No.
Yeah, but it's slow though. It was really slow to get. I mean, I only noticed it this year that if you want to make music, Cape Town. You want to make films, Cape Town. That's just the hub for everything.
Yeah.
But the money's here in Joburg.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
My thing is, you never go to Cape Town to make money unless you are in like full creative. But
also, the thing is, it's been like a slow transition over the years. But everyone is always at one point moving to Cape Town, whether they know it or not. Especially in the creative industry, there's just so many people, like you said, building on that. There are a lot of creatives down there, and the creative culture that they've built down there I find is brilliant. Not saying anything bad about Johannesburg's creative culture. We still have an awesome one up here, but down there's just more possibilities. So you just got to follow it.
Yeah, most of the production companies are out in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And would you guys ever consider the jump to the States, the UK, all of those high budget places where the industries live?
If it's effectively the dream, so if it comes knocking, you're pretty much going to answer it. Yeah,
definitely.
As much as I wouldn't like to live in America,
it's always that thing. It's like, do I want to actually go there and just deal with it?
I'll work there and then come back.
Yeah.
But yes, no, definitely. If the opportunity comes, I'll definitely take it any day of the week.
I feel a bit different about that. I feel that this industry, especially, you up and down. So like where you live is really, it's not really a big deal because you're already on the move every single time. You live in places for months at a time. Let me say that.
Yeah.
But also, like they've taught us before, is that the problem is what a lot of people try and do is obviously American cinema is one of the biggest influences in the world. So people always think movies, America. So they try and write American-styled movies. But the thing is, you play to what you know. So you need to write things that are based in like Johannesburg. You need to write with people that are South African and everything. That's pretty much how most of these directors actually get their jump to Hollywood, is because they look at the national box offices and they see that these movies have done incredibly well nationally, and they've even broadening to an international audience right now. So that director and team or whatever has clearly done something really well, and they've understood exactly what they've needed to do. So let's bring them here to allow them to have the opportunity to use broader horizons. And that's when they'll focus on making a bigger type of production differently. The thing is, you can't write about things you don't know, because at the end of the day, you don't know them.
It has to be honest all the time.
Do you guys, have you ever tried to like write for something where you could feel like, actually this isn't going anywhere, this isn't for me, this isn't...
Almost every day, dude. Like constantly coming up with cool ideas. I quickly jot them down in the memo, and then I try and place them together, and then I realize that one's a complete write-off. That one I'll keep for 2 years time or something like that.
When my creative is in a whole different space.
But yeah, it happens more often than not. There's like 99 things you don't want to do, but then there's the one thing that you do want to do.
That's the... And on your side, same thing?
Yeah, also I think with, doing film and stuff like that, your own voice is just so important, and trusting that, because a lot of times it's going to be like, yo, this is cool and everyone's, enjoying that. But when you get into your own thing where you're like, yeah, this is where I want to go with everything now, that's like trusting your own voice is so important to me.
That's the thing, is when your best work will come out, because I think if you're there struggling the whole time trying to make what everyone wants, you're never going to enjoy it, really.
But I agree completely with what you said about just being honest, and the honesty is the key. You got to be yourself. That's when I feel people will appreciate it more, because it's may not be something they particularly like, but at the end of the day, it's someone who stayed true to themselves and stayed true to what they wanted to do, and you've always got to appreciate that. And most of the time, if you love something so much that you're doing, it has better results than something you don't like doing.
100%.
In every industry plays off that way. I mean, if you look at now the guy who's popping off in music, Steve Lacy, like he's doing things his own way. And
100%.
I mean, TikTok has a big part to play, but that's like...
TikTok again.
Phil's just very hurt by TikTok. He's seen numbers skyrocket and he's seen them fall, and he hates all of it.
You know what annoys me is like content creation at a point was was beautiful. Like it was a nice form of thing. I just don't like how it's evolving. Like I like the film part and the series. I just don't like the new quick form of content.
Yeah, with that's actually a very good point. Do you guys feel like it's even harder to draw attention to like movies and things these days? Like I know big box office releases don't happen as much nowadays because of like streaming sites like your Netflix, your Disney Plus, all of this. People's attention spans are getting shorter because of TikTok and stuff like that. Does that ever like scare you guys into thinking that there's turbulence in the industry?
To be honest, it doesn't scare me too much because at the end of the day, if a person loves a film, they want to go watch it. For me, as a kid, it was always an outing. You know, like, okay, Friday, this movie's coming out. All your friends will go, or when you're younger, you'd go with the family, or you go on a date to go watch the movie. So it's always an event, something you get dressed for, you leave your house to go and do. So even when I watch a film at home, I stick with that mentality because it's still an occasion to me. It's not just something I'm doing to pass the time.
It's not casual watching.
Something I really enjoy doing, and it's just an all-round experience, whether you like it, whether you dislike it. It's something that you've decided to do, and I just love it, bro.
I agree with them.
Yeah.
Especially because like the world's always gonna change.
No.
You know, so I
think as well, it's like not even a bad thing in the grand scheme of things with like Netflix and stuff pumping out movies like that, because I think it gives a bigger platform to like the smaller directors when they're first starting off. It's like I imagine back in the day it's so much harder than now to like get into like the big bots, where it's now you can go and if you go and get a Netflix deal, you're one step away from becoming a big director. And I think it's like a nice platform at least that the streaming sites have now.
Yeah, I agree. But the one thing that does scare me a lot as a filmmaker is with something that the streaming platforms tried to do, like at HBO Max and Warner Brothers. I think it was last year or the year before, where they announced every single theatrical release will come out the same day on HBO Max.
Oh, like even with the like, Black Widow and stuff on Disney Plus, they did the same day streaming.
So therefore, people just decided, because people are lazier nowadays, their attention spans are shorter. So it's just thinking, why must I go out and spend money when I can just...
Yeah, if you give them an option right there, they're not going to leave the house.
Exactly. So that's one thing I really hope never dies, because I will always hold on to those dreams of going to the cinema for my release of my film, because it's an event. Everyone wants to be there. Everyone's going there for one single purpose. You can all hate each other, but at the same time, you're all there for what collectively for one purpose, to watch the film. The film brings you together. It has a certain connection that I don't feel most things do. You can be idly sitting next to somebody, a stranger you've never met before in your life. Something funny happens in the film. You guys will chat about it or have a quick look or laugh together or something like that. That's a connection that's special, and it's brought together through film.
That is so wild. Like literally, like I can understand that for you. Like that weird connection you get after cinema kind of thing. Like everyone's watched the movie with you, and it's like
and
we all just sat through like this 2 hours together. We saw this all together.
You hear someone behind you speaking about something, and you're like, "Oh yes, I thought the same thing." You turn to speak to them, and you just have a quick little conversation about it. But at the same time, everyone's together. Everyone's in good spirits. Where you don't get that at home.
Yeah, that's very true.
You don't get that at home.
That's very true.
Nice. And just back onto the film now, are you, for the directing and stuff, are you planning to keep into the neo-noir thrillers kind of thing, like in the sense the mystery and this
so
style?
Like
or are you relatively open to...
Like I said earlier, you write what you know. Naturally, when I started writing, I just found that I was a lot better with that than, for example, a drama or horror or anything else like that. So I'm just... Even if I set out to write something differently, I always find myself just being drawn back to that genre. So going to be honest to myself, and I'm just going to carry on writing scripts that are like that. But one day, let's say a company comes to me and says, okay, we want you to do this film, but it's a different type of genre. I feel like I could give it my own spin. It's not going to be a complete neo-noir thriller, but it's not going to be your classic version of the genre. It's going to have that Daniel Pieterse twist to it.
Yeah, I like that.
That's hella dope.
It's really exciting.
Yeah. And in terms of like music videos and stuff as well, do you have a specific like genre that you'd want to stay in, like a specific lane?
Never. I get bored really quickly, like when working on things. So I always want to keep myself interested. So like I always want to challenge myself in terms of like in everything, like from cinematography. I always want to do the most weird, outlandish thing. So that's how I feel about that. I mean, especially going from like the shows you'd watch. Like I'm a huge Twin Peaks fan. Atlanta too. So that's like
the shots in Atlanta, man. God damn.
The story is even like it's so random.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Like I think it was in season 2 when they speak about the guy with the invisible Lamborghini. When they're in the club.
What's that?
They got the invisible Lamborghini, and then at the end of the series, when I think somebody gets shot in the club and everyone's running, and then you see a guy in an invisible Lamborghini come and ride somebody over. You think, what the hell am I watching? But that's got a certain style to it. It's a postmodernistic style, so it doesn't need to make sense. So that's one of the beauties of cinema.
That's very true. Like as much as like when you watch that show, you're like, for some reason you're like kind of drawn into it enough where you, like that suspension of disbelief happens.
It's a all-round perfect show in my opinion, because they understand that they don't need to make sense. They follow their narrative, but very loosely and true to themselves. They just do everything that they want to do. They have fun with it, and then it pays off. And that's another thing that I'm excited about. Our shoot, like you said, coming up with the crazy camera angles and everything outlandish, is that we have a team that feels the exact same way as him. So every single time something's getting a little bit static, a little bit too boring on set, we've all agreed that the second you have an idea, obviously not during takes, but you're going to shout it out to everyone, and then we're just going to play around. We have our set shot list that we're going to follow, but at the end of the day, I want to have enough footage to make the same film twice, but with completely different shots. So then we'll just play around with it in the edit and just see how we feel. We just want to completely have fun. We want to make this our film. As we said, it's our graduation film. Why not try break every single boundary that we can? It's an experimental film, so we might as well experiment.
That's a beautiful sentiment, man. Shit.
When are you guys planning relatively, when's it, how, I know I spoke about the editing, but how long, when do you think it's going to be airing at cinema, and where could people actually go watch it
so
as well?
Its release date is the 16th of November at the Bioscope Independent Cinema.
Hey, don't worry, it happens to the best of us.
Cut that out. Cut that out. Cut that out. I'm going to do another one. You're cutting that one out.
We're doing another take, man, I swear.
That credit removed, man.
I was like, just tell me anything you want to cut out. I'm not cutting out.
I invoke my right to cut that one
out. Hey, welcome to Vaabs podcast, man. Even the host don't have the rights. God damn.
Oh man, it was going so well in my head.
Hey, you're killing.
So I'm going to repeat myself. The 16th of November at the Bioscope Independent Cinema.
Where is that?
It's at 44 Stanley on the outskirts of Bram.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. And then, could anyone go watch it? Or
anyone can go watch it. The tickets will be available. We'll put it on all of our socials. We'll send it to you guys to also promote everything. You can just buy a ticket. The tickets aren't expensive. Last year, I think they were like 35 Rand.
That's nice.
So you can just go with... They've got lots of lovely restaurants outside. They've got bars. They've got food. They've got everything you want, and then obviously they've got the film showing all day on a consistent loop. So if you missed like an earlier screening of it, you can go to the afternoon or to the early evening.
That must be so beautiful to like know that your film's gonna be in that sense, like just a repeat thing. It's
completely surreal.
Like everything comes to fruition, like all that hard work.
Like last year, so the first screening of the film, I don't think we sat in. But
No,
it was the second or the last screening. The crew actually went in.
The festival actually got postponed because of COVID or something like that.
Yeah.
Does that lead to any hardships? Especially, I mean, you're studying, if you're in our third year, you were like peak times COVID.
People not know.
Really?
We had that initial 2-week lockdown, and then after that, we've been on campus every single day.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
That's lucky.
Yeah. But the surreal feeling that he was speaking about, it really is. You can't write it. You can't explain it. When we finally decided as the crew to quickly go in and screen it with the audience, most of the time I wasn't watching the film because we've watched it so many times throughout edits and everything. You sitting there and you just like watching everyone's reactions. You see everyone's face. You see them speak about a part. Whether it's good or bad, like you can see someone, even if I had to see somebody mouthing out, "This is fucking shit," I'll be like, you know what? He's speaking about my movie. That's still my movie, man. Yeah, it's a completely surreal feeling.
But we had this great moment at the beginning of this year, because it got postponed to this year of that film festival. Someone actually came up to us and said, "This film's amazing," and they want to actually...
Hey, we appreciate it.
We love the North.
You are sounding
He actually wanted to work with us and put our film in one of his local festivals, and that was a crazy moment for us.
I forgot about that
wow.
completely, man. He
That's
came
insane.
up afterwards, and we were just chatting shit. Like,
Yeah.
that was done for us. We were just speaking about random things, and then he actually came up to us, shook everyone's hand, and said, "Your film really, really spoke to me. Like, thank you for making the film." And as students, like, man, I wanted to just jump around. I felt so blessed that we could actually just get a narrative through to just one person. you know?
100%.
Because at the end of the day, even if it affects just one person, it's still
Job done, kind of
job
thing.
done,
Yeah.
pretty much.
It's the weirdest thing because like it's still a fulfilling feeling to make somebody feel something rather than to not hear anything back at all.
Yeah.
Like even like I know you joke and say like even if somebody said like this is shit, like I think the same with our podcast. Like we've never been the kind of gents who want to be like outwardly controversial or want to like fuck around. Like we always just want to catch vibes and like make people feel good about it. So it would always be nice like rather to I don't know, hear somebody's reaction than to hear nothing at all.
All feedback is good feedback.
Yeah, 100%. Because then at least you know, like, oh, this kind of person likes this type of thing, or this. Has any feedback ever, like, made you guys, I don't know, like, get in your heads about stuff that you think is good, but
yeah.
yeah.
It's happened a lot. We had a script writing teacher.
I'm not gonna, because remember I say film lecturers seem like they were like the hardest of asses kind of thing, like they're hard asses, man.
Actually,
No.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. They're assholes, but they label themselves as eccentric. It's like, I can be an asshole today because
And she was our script writing lecturer for all 3 years of our degree. She's only recently left. And every single year when I've submitted my script, she said I must change the whole thing. Every single year.
oh my
But
god.
once again, I just felt that was her perspective.
Yeah.
After quite a couple of days thinking back on it, because you finally handed it in, it's on time, thank goodness, and you feel proud. So, man, job done, well done to me. And then you get that feedback. Yeah, it just takes you back a couple of paces, and you just think, where did I go wrong? You read it over, and you're like, well, maybe this isn't that good. Then you just realize, you know what, this is what I made. It's not what she made.
Yeah.
So this is also what blew my mind, is that so then you have a first and second draft that you need to hand in terms of them marking it. And the first draft's where we get our feedback to adjust it for the second draft. She sent that feedback through on the first draft. I didn't like it. You need to change majority of this. Too many characters. Your main character doesn't have enough narrative sense. It's just a jumble. I changed 2 lines of dialogue and I got 30% more.
Damn.
I would lose my shit. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Yeah.
And that's all it is, because at the end of the day, after just thinking so long and hard about why is this bad, at the end of the day, I love making films for me. I would love the fact that people can share that vision with me and the feeling with me, but I'm making it for myself. I was proud of what I did. She did have some valuable critique where I could go and fix it. So I fixed 1 or 2 aspects, but overall I was very happy with what I was doing. So I just stuck to it, and then, yeah. My
Maybe
films got
that's the
chosen.
test. Maybe they fuck with you and they're like, yeah, no, this is horrible,
Yeah,
change
maybe it's
it.
all a
And
bluff.
then if you stick with it, they're like, that's the way. Stay true to you.
And there always will be those people that judge you.
Nothing.
In the cinemas, even like watching a person saying like, oh, this is shit. It's like at the end of the day, you watching the movie, it's like, I'm making the movie. Like, you can't irritate me with that.
100%.
It's completely subjective film. You need to prepare yourself for bad, harsh feedback. I always expect worse feedback than better feedback because it's constructive.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are just hating on you for the sake of hating on you, but sometimes they say it actually very constructively, and you can't have that mindset where it's like, okay, you're trying to one-up me or be stubborn about it and just not like the idea that people don't like your film.
Yeah, pride is the devil, and that you just got to
Exactly.
be able to take
So
it.
it's easier to remember the negative, you know. It's like you stay in
Sticks
that.
with you.
Yeah.
Ah, that's that's so true. Actually, I was just sort of all the negative feedback about it. Like I've not forgotten a single word of that.
It's so much. God damn it.
This really sucks, man.
4 pages, man. God.
You guys are gonna go lighter, I swear.
God damn it, man. Oh. But in terms of you guys, like movie. I don't want to say like inspiration, but like best and worst movies you've ever seen in your lives.
I was even asked for like quick fire of like a bunch of series and stuff.
Best. It changes every day, like you said.
Yeah.
You'll always think, for example, Inglourious Basterds is one of my top 3 movies. Is it my favorite movie? Tomorrow probably, but the day afterwards, maybe not.
Yeah.
But the worst film I've ever watched.
I can say worst for sure. Yeah.
Well, okay, definitely some of the new Marvel stuff. It's ranking badly. Well, I mean, all of it. Doctor Strange, Thor, Love and Thunder, and She-Hulk.
No, Thor.
She-Hulk, yeah, his reaction, he knows. She-Hulk was bad. Especially that final episode.
I think She-Hulk was subject of we're successful when you're in a rush things now, because that, I mean, compared to what it used to be, it's Marvel looks like they look like they're in a wild state these days.
I just think that they didn't necessarily betray their identity, but when Thor Ragnarok came out, it completely changed the shift for Marvel, because that was the first completely comedic Marvel movie we've seen, and it had great audience reactions, great critic reactions. Everyone loved it. So Marvel now is just a complete comedy show, which isn't necessarily bad if you balance it correctly. Like, go back and rewatch all the original Marvel movies. They've still got great humor inside there, but at the same time, they can be serious when they need to be serious. And I feel that now, the second, especially in like Thor, the second something serious, you're supposed to get that emotional value, and you diving in, you sucking the music, sucking you in, the camera sucking you in to what's happening for your character's world's breaking down. You feel kind of heartbroken for them, and then you just see like Thor's head sticking there comedically and
don't say that, man. I love that movie,
breaks.
and now I have to rethink, because you're right, I did feel like they could have lingered on certain things a lot more.
But even then, because for me, like Gore's whole like sadness and his anger throughout, you couldn't actually feel it for most of the movie because it was like overshadowed.
Christian Bale was wasted in that film.
Genuinely, as well, I mean, his role was like, if you look at like the actual sense of it, like the ending of it all it's a beautiful ending. I won't spoil this in case someone's living under a rock and hasn't seen it, but just in the sense of that ending, it's like it's such a beautiful ending that was really just overshadowed by a lot of comedy unnecessarily.
Yeah, but I don't want to stray too far off, because the worst film I've ever watched is actually, in its own way, one of the best. Because, like, a Studio Universal movie, you love to watch it because it's so shit.
Oh no!
Yes.
Don't Sharknado 4, baby! Please don't tell me Sharknado.
No, not Sharknado. So it's this movie called The Room. Not the one with Brie Larson.
I was about to
say not the one with Brie Larson. I think his name was Tommy Wiseau. He made this movie. He was also in. He wanted to become an actor.
Tommy Wiseau wasn't as the Highmark guy.
Yes.
Is it Highmark?
That's from the movie called The Room.
Oh, is it the one that James Franco even did a portrayal of?
Yes,
oh my goodness.
So wait, no, sorry. That one's not called The Room. It's just called Room or something like that.
Yeah.
But this movie is just terrible.
I did not hit her.
Terrible. Let me paint a picture. So when they were shooting, they had a completely quiet and accessible rooftop that they could have shot on. But instead, he spent $1.2 million. No, not 1. Don't quote me on that. He spent an exuberant amount of money on building a green screen on the roof to shoot the roof scene.
You let him do that.
That's beautiful.
But the problem was, he was this guy that just said, you know what, I'm going to make my own movie. Shout out to him. Well done. But at the same time, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
It was just comedically brilliant. And then the James Franco movie came out because him and Seth Rogen one night were sitting and they were watching film at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, we've all been there when we were younger. Comedy Central and George Lopez just pops up. And it's like the same 7 episodes.
Hours of your life gone.
So that happened, and then this movie came on. And then same thing. Like, this movie is so terrible, it's actually fantastic. So that's what I would say is the worst movie I've ever watched.
Cable Guy.
Oh.
Undisputed, like,
why Cable Guy?
that is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
What about Cable Guy?
It's painful to watch. Like, I'm just sitting there like, why? Like, you could torture someone watching that movie.
Just because Jim Carrey isn't that type of guy, or
No.
They slew
I
your
love
family
Jim
hero,
Carrey.
Dill. They're slewing your family hero, dude.
My identity is based on.
No, I like Dumb and Dumber, the first one. Yeah, I like that.
Second.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about that. That's like,
No.
well,
Sequels are terrible.
For me, it must be
For
very.
you guys, what are your worst films?
I know my best, and
There's a Kung Fu Panda 2.
no, it's Get Out. Get Out for me. I don't know why, but that story always not sticks with me. But I don't know. I always felt it had a very powerful.
I watched it like 4 times.
Oh, genuinely, for
It
me, I've
was-
literally like every single
Ow.
time like I saw it, I'll just keep
Had
watching.
to.
Traumatized after the first. Didn't go back. Couldn't do it.
Have you watched his new film? Nope.
I saw the trailer and I've been dying to watch it. So I was gonna watch Us. I haven't watched it yet because when I tried to watch it, I went to the cinema because for me, I'm like, yeah, I love going to the movies. It's my favorite thing. Get a slush and popcorn, live through it. I go and get my ticket to Us. I'm living life. I go walk into cinema. I'm the only person there.
Right.
Genuinely the only person in this movie, and I was really scared by the trailer. I was like, let me just try it. I sit at the back by myself. No one gets in. And then it starts. I get 15 minutes, and then I hear like the chair creaking. I was like, don't
I'm out.
stress. I left. I felt like such an embarrassment. I was walking. The lady was like, oh, do you want me to hold your popcorn? I was like, I'm not coming back, man. And I still haven't got the strength to go watch it now. But I feel like one day I'll watch it.
Yeah, no, it's quite something spectacular. His latest one, Nope. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't watched it
Nope
yet.
is one of the craziest films I've ever watched. So it's a classic trope of this random house on an American ranch somewhere, and then aliens come. But his depiction of an alien is so different to anything we've ever seen before. Because normally, flying saucer, aliens come down, good guys fight the aliens. But in this aspect, don't want to ruin too much, so like just skip ahead in case you're worried I ruin it. But the alien itself is like the flying saucer. They think it's a flying saucer at first, but the alien is a predator. Like it's this massive thing where they make the assumption that it is a flying saucer, but they find out that it's actually just a alien
huge
species and it's a predator.
I
And
hate it.
it's not been abducting people, it's been eating people.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So they've got to battle a predator that's from space, effectively. And the way that they've done it is just beautiful. They used a really cool film technique that I love. It's called shooting day for night. So what it is that we'll shoot it, as it is said, day for night. So we'll have our set, everything ready to go. We'll shoot the day scenes. And then what we'll do is that throughout the post-production process, we'll then layer it with different forms of LUTs and grading and everything like that to make it look like nighttime. So, you know Mad Max Fury Road? How-
Beautiful. Probably one of my favorites.
You know
Definitely
how
top 3.
at night it looks blue and has that blue tint?
Yeah.
They shot that day for night. Those scenes were all shot during the
shit.
day.
That's so badass.
It's wild, man. You learn
Yeah,
about it.
it changes his perspective of it entirely because there's like you can immediately think like, oh, there is something different about this nighttime compared to.
But it still gets the point across that this is nighttime. So it's very beautiful.
That's dope, man. Shit. I thought I only liked shit movies, huh?
Your favorite movie?
Yeah, don't skip. I'm waiting for yours,
because
man.
you guys seem respectable and you love films so much, and I just want you to think I'm a solid guy.
And if you could go through the reels where
Nah,
you
there's
actually
no judgment. No judgment at
It's-
all, man.
Maybe
No,
some
no,
judgment,
no,
but we'll get there. We'll get there.
on everything, and I'm actually not ashamed. Fuck it, bro. Kung Fu Panda 1,
That's a great film. I like it.
legitimately,
I
like,
it.
no, why we got silent?
do you think animation holds its own weight in the film world, or is
No,
it?
without a
Yes.
doubt, without a
Yo,
doubt.
you see
Big
this?
time,
That's
big
not-
time.
I don't want- Wait, we've all seen it, huh?
Of course, man.
Ah, it's a classic.
What is it? I've always wanted because we've never gone to because you're just being rude to the others. I mean, what is it about it that gets you? Is
You
it
know
the
what?
story or
When
is
I
it-
was a kid, yeah, it was probably because of how it made me feel. Because I used to think Tai Lung was like one of the scariest fucking individuals ever. Like I literally couldn't watch that movie. I would watch it like this, like with my hand in front of my face, because I was always like, this is like so terrifying. And then as I've grown up, like to see, like I know I'm only pointing to him, but it's literally one of my main draws to the movie. But like watching like his come up scene and like his like how he was treated versus to what he had to go through, and then his motivation and shit like that. Like it's so weird, like animation having such compelling characters.
It's a real life motivation.
Exactly,
in
it's
that
like a
sense,
real life motivation that you
That's
Yeah,
not
I can
necessarily
understand that completely.
100%.
But I will say Kung Fu Panda was the best Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, 100%.
The first one was the best out of
Yes,
the all
facts.
of them.
Yeah,
definitely.
Then the second one kind of was aight. No, the second one as well.
He's going on.
Wait until he gets into Cheetah Girls and it's a whole different
We don't
ballgame.
have to do the Cheetah Girls, man. I just like that movie because it's enjoyable. But
Cheetah
equally-
Girls.
Yeah, number 2.
We've lost all respect. No,
What fucking podcast? No, you know
hey
what?
guys, it's been good. We'll see. Please don't air this.
You know what it is, and this is why I'm always so like, there's something for everybody. Is because I'm not the kind of person who likes like super intense, like, how do I put it? Like, you know, movies that are like Oscar bait. So like, to me, Interstellar is Oscar bait. It's like,
How could you?
Also, Interstellar, by the
no, I love Interstellar. I love
Okay,
it. I
the
love
way
it.
you phrased that,
I
was
love
I
it,
don't
I
like
love it,
movies
I love
like
it.
Interstellar.
No. It's calm, but it's like, I'd rather watch like, and I don't know, I don't want to say mind-numbing shit, but like,
easy watch.
Nah, I
Yeah,
get you. The
easy watches.
escapism, like all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's one of the also the big reasons that I got into film
Yeah.
was for that escapism aspect
Yeah.
because something's going on, you're having a shit day. What you want to do? Okay, let me just watch a movie, and then
The last thing you think of is like, let me watch Inception.
But my favorite movie is Die Hard, so that's why I get you 100%.
best Christmas movie of all time. Best
Can't go wrong with John McClane, man. Like,
yeah, 100%, man, shit. Yeah, but yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, I watch movies differently to other people. Like, I feel like I'm shit at it.
No,
Like,
but that's the beauty of it because
yeah.
it's. Yeah, first of all, you can't be shit at watching movies.
Nah,
Like-
clearly I am because I'm getting lux everywhere.
No, that's the beauty of it. Is because it's so subjective.
Mhm.
He doesn't have to like Kung Fu Panda. You can love Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
You can have posters in your room. That's your thing
Took him
because
down.
because it's subjective. It's
Yeah.
for a broad aspect. If you like it, you like it. You don't like it, you don't like it.
100%.
That is one of the raw essences of film that is just absolutely beautiful.
And like to your guys' point as well, it also changes like every day. Like I remember I used to be very big into like rom-coms and stuff like that. And then I think last year, like I had this big tilt and I just used to watch those old school like noir movies, like the
Yeah.
black and white detective style ones.
or like the Hitchcock films.
Mm,
where you're
yeah.
into that. Yeah.
And literally like those films literally got, I don't know, it was just one of those things where like I would finish one and then I'd go to my brother and I'm like, bro, get me another one. Like, because my brother's very big into like movies and films and stuff. So like he knows a lot more shit than I do. So I used to like want to stylize like my videos and things like that to look that certain way just because that was my inspiration. Then I don't know if you guys know an artist called Nux.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah,
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah. His music videos literally encapsulate every. You know when somebody does something that you wanted to do, like you have this
Yes,
idea,
yes.
and you're like, they literally verbatim stole it from my brain. How they do it? But yeah, he
Crazy.
literally like takes his music videos and puts them in like a noir setting,
Yeah.
but keeps it modern as well, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
That's
like that a
limbs.
lot.
I don't want to talk anymore. David, speak about your favorite shit movies or whatever.
For me, I had a question because I've always actually, you guys have seen Tenet, right?
Yeah.
From a film perspective, what did you guys enjoy it?
I
Or, like,
loved it.
I thought it was phenomenal.
For me,
It was
I loved
absolutely
it. I don't understand like how they did it. Like it just seems like a, what's the word? A set nightmare, like a production nightmare to do.
See,
Yeah,
when
I
you
can
make a movie like that, you can
Yeah.
get away with a lot. You can say, yes, it's meant to be that.
Just like what are the extras is literally running around backwards. It's like it's backwards, hi baby.
Everyone run backwards now. No, it
We're gonna
was-
reverse this car at 80 kilometers an hour. I don't care.
It was absolutely phenomenal because it must have been a nightmare to actually make and get the logistics of everything. But the concept and the execution was brilliantly done because I believe like the film represents the name. So the name's a palindrome, same forwards and backwards. The film, same thing can be said about the film. Everything's moving forward motion and backward motion at
ruined
the
it.
same time.
Again.
It's
I
fine.
get too excited when I speak about film, man.
It's fine. I'm sure if
Just
no
slap
one's
the
seen it
spoiler
yet.
alert.
Yeah.
Actually, no, if they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's
they
my
deserve
thing.
to
It's like if
spoil
it's
it,
been past like 3 months, it's your own fault.
How's that fair? Like, people used to do that to me for Game of Thrones.
Oh, as well, yeah.
That's
Series
your
don't count. You can binge watch a series 10 years later.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Series is the
like,
exception.
you
Okay.
can't spoil a series.
No.
No, you can't. I'm sorry.
You
I
say
don't get. I'm saying you can't spoil films. Like, I'd be upset at you. I mean, series. I'd be fucking upset at you. If you spoiled Friends for me, I'd be upset.
Oh, but what if like you're gonna get to a movie and you're like, it's on my list.
I'm so sorry. Like I feel. It's like I wish we could even lie because like I swear these two. I would not damn say I'll watch How I Met Your Mother is like my main thing and not those. Yeah, like don't spoil your Friends.
I actually like How I Met Your Mother.
Oh,
wait.
How I Met Your Mother or New Girl?
How I Met Your Mother by far. By far.
Oh yeah, How I Met Your Mother. Man.
I think for me, it's doing a series like that. I think one of the coolest and biggest challenges is having. It's like you were saying about making that whole world around it for those characters to work. It's because the callbacks that they literally have to have someone there who's like, oh, remember in season 4 when this happened? If we do a callback, Lily's hair is red, and like for me, it's like I don't know how people can have like just the thought process to be like everything needs to be mapped out, like hair color, how they were acting, what happened there. Because relatively, it's like I'm assuming they have to make the entire world, like that world has to exist, and then they kind of work around it.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's exactly how it happens.
And that's so I just got very involved there. I was excited.
No, David.
I was lost.
It's fine, David. Do you want to talk to them about your favorite movie of all time, Cheetah Girls?
That's you, buddy. You
No, I'll
love it.
never fucking admit
I
it.
could never.
Never.
For me, I wouldn't even know where to start to like defend myself.
Neither do
Because
I.
you can't, guys. You can't.
No, you
Cheetah
can. Nostalgia's a strong fucking puppy, bro.
That's true.
I think this
100
nostalgia
big aspect.
is very strong, but it can often be clouded.
Oh, it's crack cocaine, dude.
It's fully clouded. Though.
100%.
That's why so many of shows are getting spin-offs and reboots because they're playing on the nostalgia aspect. It did so well back then, so might as well do a new.
iCarly
edition.
came back.
And also How I Met Your Father.
Yeah, Gossip
And
Girl
that
came
needs to be
back.
thrown
I
away.
refuse to watch them because they're just going to ruin the originals.
Oh,
for me.
And also, I watched How I Met Your Father, and that was really just a.
Mistake.
It was bad.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, you know when
I didn't even
something's trying too hard to be like that, but also very
yeah.
different. It's like doesn't know where it actually fits.
Yeah. Does it resemble like the same identity of How I Met Your Mother?
It's like if
Like-
they were in a car crash and they had amnesia. That's the identity that they were trying to get to. It's like there's a faint remembrance. It's like, oh, this seems like a show I used to watch, but then they lose
No,
it.
and then it goes.
Yeah. So, don't watch it. Purely don't watch it.
And to the directors of that show, everybody gets criticism. You have to be ready for some harsh words.
All feedback is good feedback. I mean,
Oh, God. damn.
film is just, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, we were in the same cinema for Batman, right?
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I don't think I told you this. So, when we
I hated it.
no. The Batman that came out, also phenomenal movie. But when we went to go watch it on opening night, it restarted like 4 times.
Yeah. I was late, so I was happy.
How far did you get? Like each restart?
About
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes.
shit.
I would cry.
Yeah.
So that
that's
opening
fucked
sequence we know, bro.
Yeah.
It's mapped out.
Burn.
I'm vengeance. We know.
But so we were also late for one of the times that they cut back,
Yeah.
and because we love film so much, we went to the projectionist and we told him, listen, the audio is wrong. No one can hear the audio. Meanwhile, the audio is fine,
Yeah.
completely fine. It was perfect. And we said no one can hear the audio and stuff. And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll restart the movie for you. So then went and got the popcorn and everything like that. Walked in. Movie started. And thank you to that guy, whoever his name was, because he skipped the adverts for us as well.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Imagine how rude it
Because
is.
apparently everyone was so sick and tired of watching the adverts and the trailers, so he skipped them for them.
I wouldn't even know where to walk to find him, to fuck with him, so that he could restart the
Are you the projectionist? You bought popcorn from me like 2 minutes ago. Are you though?
The same as Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. The traffic going into Monte Casino was bad. Walk in, fight scene, okay, just turn around, know where the booth is, same thing. Yeah, so for some reason the audio is very bad. Like everyone's complaining about it. Okay, I'll start it over again. It takes the reel out.
Can I tell you, if I'm ever in a cinema and that happens, I will go fight.
I'll go to the projection.
I'll find
whoever
whoever it is.
lady. And I'll have some words for it.
They'll do it for you, trust me. I've got experience.
Damn, that's so wild, dude. Sure.
You can't miss the movies, man.
I
can't, bro.
What was
that-
the last movie you watched?
At cinema.
Yeah.
I think it was Batman. If I'm not
It was
lying. No, it was Thor. It was Thor Ragnarok. Thor Love and Thunder.
Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
I regret doing that.
Yeah, I also
Yo.
regret doing it because I was about to say, Batman came out last year, October.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean,
a full year
I've
without
been-
going to
I've
the
been
cinema.
tr-
this year?
It's March, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was this year.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It was originally
was-
supposed to come out.
Thank goodness. I
in
thought
October,
I literally
because
thought I had lost a year of my life. I was like,
No, 2022's been long, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 'cause even Doctor
because it was
Strange came
based off of a long Halloween storyline, so they aimed to release it in October, and then it got pushed to March. So
Yeah.
my bad. I
Yeah.
The real
digress.
Halloween.
I digress.
March.
Yeah. It's fucking scary.
But yeah, I think it was Thor. And I think it's weird. I think he gaslit me into thinking I was loving it. Because yes, when I both walked out of cinema, and he was like, I fucking loved it. This is like the best movie I've ever seen. I was
No,
like, maybe I
so
missed something pivotal. Because I'd enjoyed it.
I loved that movie because of how it made me feel at the end.
Yeah.
I think in terms of like where I was at that time, like I feel like a lot can be said about just where you are in life when you watch a certain film. And then just watching it, I was like, there was certain things I was critiquing, but then I was like, put it in the back of your head, bro. Like this made you feel good, like while you were watching it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of times where I feel like my adulthood fucks with my enjoyment of things.
So that's
Fully.
called a value charge. So that's something that a filmmaker always looks out to do. That is kind of the Bible of your whole film. Like it even tops the narrative. It's what do you want this film to convey?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if that's what Taika Waititi wanted, if he wanted people to just feel really good after the film, he achieved his goal as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
But, however, 10 minutes in that film, I was like, yeah, I wasted money.
Ah,
Could have waited for this to come on Disney+.
Shout out
Value charge was
Taika.
$70 a month, man.
Yeah, James, thank you so much for pulling through.
Guys, thank you very much for having
Yeah.
us.
I feel like it's been a very different episode for us, but a dope one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
feel like
enjoyed
listening
myself.
to people who are passionate about what they do has been like a real like insight and fucking delight, bro.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, man.
So for those of you who didn't get it earlier, Schizo, 16 November at the Bioscope Independent Cinema.
Be
Yes,
there.
bro, we
Nailed
love
it.
Yeah.
Nailed
Nailed
it.
Nailed it.
All the links will be in the bios.
That's the one you cut out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be putting all the links in bios, and as well, close towards time, we'll be getting. I don't know. I'm looking at that camera. Fuck, I'm so stupid. How's it? Are you guys?
Your media train, come
Yeah.
on, baby.
And we'll be promoting it as well with you guys. So get ready for the 16th November. Schizo.
Yes, boy.
Thank you.
And as always,
Keep vibing, yo.
vibing. Anyway, he's not gonna cut the camera until somebody does something that satisfies.
You must
him.
just actually get up and
you
act like
literally
we're
have
done.
to act like there's no longer a podcast happening because he always does this. It's fucking jarring. Behave, please.